Yesterday was almost everything that you needed for the Guardians. Nobody fried their eyes on the eclipse. You had a fantastic game, a beautiful day. You get people in the ballpark that want to come back, and you're off to the best start that you've had since 2011 with this 8-2 Guardians team. Now, 10 games in, I try to sit here and pump the brakes even myself on what I think this Guardians team will be, right? But you watch the other teams in the AL Central. You watch how the Guardians are playing baseball. Stephen Vogt, yeah! Off to a good start for him, and it's tough for me to not jump all in, cannonball into the deep end on believing what this Guardians team might be able to be. Part of it, yes, is how bad the division is. But I watch how this team plays, man. I have a bet already placed with Tipico about this team winning the AL Central. I might place another bet this morning. See those odds. I'm starting to believe a little bit on this Cleveland Guardians team. Are you going to join us on the parade to the AL Central? We'll get to that. We have a ton of Browns news on a random Tuesday. I've got a lot of Browns roster news. I've got a mock draft that Ryan is not going to want to see this morning. I'll tell you about that coming up. I think we're going to do a Cavs-free show today, Ryan. They're off. They need to get right. We need to get right. We got 2 for Tuesday. We'll get to time up. We got the grid, the bracket. Oh, the very savory bracket, which we'll tell you about in just a second. Hopefully everybody enjoyed the eclipse and your eyes are doing just fine to watch us this morning right here on Big Play. Welcome to the show, everybody. I am Matt Fontana. He is Ryan Tyler. Good morning. Happy to have you alongside. A lot of guards, a lot of Browns this morning. College football news. They're taking the Chip Kelly model, which I kind of like. We'll explain that coming up. The real fix for college football. I didn't know about Gene Steratore, okay? I sent a tweet yesterday, but how did you not know he was an NCAA ref? I had no idea. Some nice cashes for us last night on the championship. It was UConn all the way, man. Purdue tried. I cashed quite a few. We'll talk about those coming up as well. We got our boost again today for the Guardians, which I love. And hopefully everybody made through the eclipse. How many people are calling their eye doctor this morning going, hey, man, you need
I saw your tweet about that, and I was like, is that how you spell ophthalmologist?
So an optometrist is different than an ophthalmologist.
So explain to me what an ophthalmologist is, because I just thought it was optometrist.
My understanding is that an optometrist will get you your glasses, but an ophthalmologist would be, I have problems with my eyes.
Oh,
I need you to fix something with my eyes. Like I have cataracts or I stared at the eclipse too much.
If I wanted to get new glasses, I go to the optometrist.
Yes.
If I wanted to get LASIK surgery, I go to the ophthalmologist.
I think so. Because so here's the thing. I got LASIK, and we don't have a LASIK partner here. We'll welcome anybody here on Big Play. But I would tell you, if you have glasses, getting LASIK was one of the best things that I've ever done for myself. It's not cheap. I understand that. There's a lot of great companies out there. I went to LVC. Shout out to them. Dr. Eiper. You know, Dr. Eiper did Tiger Woods LASIK back in the day. He did Tiger Woods LASIK with the blades. Now it's all laser. Could you imagine cutting on Tiger Woods' eyes?
Some expensive eyeballs.
That's not back again when they used when they used blades to reshape it all. I got it done. It was 10 minutes. Greatest thing I ever did. Don't have to pay for contacts anymore. I'll need readers one day, but everybody does. Dude, the best. Just pitching that out there, talking about ophthalmologists. It was weird because we were at a family party and there was a lot of kids. My nieces, my nephews, my son. And of course, he's like, Dad. And I'm like, put the glasses on now. Like trying to shove glasses on a 2.5-year-old. He was not having it. But I think he's okay. I mean, he woke up and looked at me this morning. So I'm like, all right, you're doing all right, right? We're okay. The eclipse was really cool. I mean, I don't know what to expect, I guess, because the darkness and the cold, I think, is what everybody kind of got. I mean, it was like the middle of the night. Where we were at, the street lights came on because they just assumed that it was nighttime. It was pretty cool. Hopefully, everybody had a fantastic eclipse. I think they did it real well over there at the Guardians. I know a lot of people were there, and they were watching it, so it was really a cool time for our town. A lot of people downtown. If I have to hear the word totality again, though, it's all we have reached totality. We've reached totality. I got it. We're watching the news. But it was a lot of fun. And I thought it was a total win yesterday for the Guardians, 4-0. Jose. Yes. Yes. Cash that boost, baby. I loved it, man. That was an important game, I think, for the Guardians. the home opener, especially when you get the good weather like that, you gotta suck some people in. You had a sellout crowd, a legitimate sellout crowd yesterday. You need to grab these people to come on back. And that matters to the team. You will never be able to tell me that it doesn't matter when you have fans in that ballpark. We'll never have the 455 again. I understand that. And I do think even with the struggles that the team has and what we've gone through and ownership and all that other bullcrap, we still represent for our town. Like, even when things are bad, you still go to that ballpark on a Saturday and it's pretty packed. Like Friday, Saturday, Sundays, they're not the problem. What a lot of people have talked about tonight, Tuesdays and Wednesdays. And I do think the 6:10 start helps because that's more apt to getting your kids there. You still get home in a reasonable hour. But yesterday was important to show up. And I think to prove to some of the fans, I know a lot of us watch, but you can get behind this baseball team. It's a bad pun. I'm not even trying to make it right. Don't yell at me, please. People sometimes get guarded against. I'm sorry. I can't come up with another word. I'm sorry. They get guarded against jumping in on this team. And I just said I'm cannonballing into the deep end, man. I'm in. And I'm going to be that way until the wheels fall off or until I'm changed what I view of this team.
Case in point, Cleveland Cavaliers.
Kinda, yeah.
What do you mean kinda? That's exactly how you did.
My toes are still in the water, Ryan. I'm still in the water. I said we were going to talk about the Cavs this morning. We need a mental break from the Cavs.
All right.
Mental break. All right? I'm still in. I'm in. I have no choice but to be. I'm in. Okay? The Guardians, though, it's like this. Sometimes people have this internal ticking clock. And it's a lot of times it's the trades of the big players. You want a positive to come out of the Shane Bieber stuff? You ain't trading him. That's it. I mean, I guess in a loony world, you could try to. Probably not, right? So now you don't even have to worry about that. So you might as well just focus in on this team that is playing really well at the beginning of the season. Focus on that the rest of this division sucks. Seriously. And it's not even just the White Sox who are going to finish dead last and probably lose 100 games, whatever. The Twins, the Tigers, I mean, come on now. You're in this. And that's why I want to post our first two for Tuesday. Always on Tuesdays with us. 2 questions, 2 answers. Do you think the Guardians are going to win the AL Central? Do you believe that the Guardians are going to win the AL Central? That's our first question this morning. So as I said, I placed a bet at plus money on Tipico before the season. What I want to do is go look today, sports, baseball, MLB. Dude, Tipico, I tell you how great it is. It is so awesome to just be able to just scroll through things here. All right, boost parlays. I don't have any. Where are my futures? Okay, I might not have it right now. Might not have it. All right, I'll do this. Let me hit the Google machine here. Odds to win AL Central. I'm sure it'll bring up the preseason ones too. All right, this is from Vegas Insider. When was this published? Okay, this was before the season. These are the odds that I got. It was about 200, plus 200 for the Guardians. I'd love to see where it is now. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Wait.
It's probably now.
No, that is updated. I'm sorry. You're right. These are updated. And it's from a host of different ones. I'm going to average it out first right now. It's about plus 200, maybe plus 190, plus 200. The Twins are still the slight favorite. As it opened, Guardians were plus 300. So it's bumped down just a little bit there. I'm taking that bet all day. And it's in part of what I've seen from this team, the lineup. You know, Stephen Kwan was talking after the game about it. Because, dude, is he not just a professional GD hitter, man?
I was telling you, man.
He's a professional blank damn hitter, man.
See, right now, he's I tweeted.
You tweeted it about he's leading the league in hits right now.
Technically now he's tied for second with, I think, 3 other people. Shohei is number 1 with 19.
Yeah.
But keep in mind, the Dodgers have played 3 more games.
Right, they had the South Korea stuff. Right. So he's there, and he talked about the left-handed pitching yesterday, and he said we were able to pull some, we were able to get some in play. I love it. I love the hitting on this team. They're manufacturing runs. Stephen Vogt talked about that. They do it a little bit of a different way. They're not going to always be hitting the big home runs, although Hosey, man, hell yeah.
Called it.
Dude, and especially him. Like, It's not to put him so singularly to say that he is what makes it go. He's not the straw that stirs the drink, so to speak. But he sometimes has had slow starts to the year, right? Not now. Not right now. And you're just piecing in some other guys here and there. David Fry is hitting all of a sudden. I'm all in on this team, man. There's something about, I'm a big believer on this team. Now, the pitching, we have to get that sorted out. We know about the Bieber stuff. I do want to talk about Shane after yesterday. But our first question is up. 2 for Tuesday. Do you believe the Guardians are going to win the AL Central? Ryan, you know where I'm at. I didn't mean to say it. Absolutely, I'm in. I've got my hard-earned cash in and ready to go. Ryan, cast your vote, please.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, I was already pretty optimistic in preseason. It was always a kind of a two-legged race the way it was viewed between the Guardians and Twins. But now you go look at it. I mean, obviously it sucks that you're going to lose your ace for the rest of the year. But a plus 36 run differential, Matt, that's 10 runs better than the next team in the MLB. You're tied for the best record in the MLB. I should say win percentage because the other teams have played a couple more games than us. But it's really hard not to be all in on this team. I mean, Stephen Vogt clearly knows what he's doing so far, it seems. It seems like nothing but positive is coming out of that clubhouse. I mean, Jimenez is back, it seems like. It was never an issue on defensive side, but it seems like he's getting the sticks rolling now. And you mentioned Kwan basically leading the MLB in hits per game. He's doing an incredible job. And then you mentioned Jose, the superstar to wrap it all up, hitting the home run yesterday. It seems like they're, we always talk about it. Yeah, they're not going to be able to hit the home runs that the Yankees or the Dodgers are going to hit, but they're manufacturing the runs, like Stephen Vogt said. And he said that that's a good mark of a good offense. And if anything, if it keeps up like this, I don't see how the Guardians can't win it.
I'm all for it. All right, let's get our second 2 for Tuesday up before we talk a little more Guards. And again, a lot of Browns coming up here on the show. I don't know why I stumbled on this. There was a story, and I feel bad because this lady, her house caught on fire, and she said one of her 37 cats started the fire. And I thought about it because my instant reaction, I feel bad because, again, she had a fire. That's why cats suck. I'm sorry.
I gotta think. I like this. This
cats or dogs. That's our second 2 for Tuesday.
This is
cats
such a landslide.
Well, I don't know, man, because people that are all in on cats are all in on cats. You never hear about
my brother
dog
likes
people.
Cats, and one of my best friends is a cat person. But other than them, I'm like, no.
So I had dogs and cats pretty much growing up my whole life. And it was never a situation with the cats that we went and got one. Like the cat that we had growing up showed up on our doorstep one day. And she just stayed. And we're like, well, we'll give this cat a life, I guess. I don't know. Where I live now, 3 doors down from us. Great band. I'm so excited to see them, by the way, with Creed. Complete side note. Literally 3 doors down, our neighbor. There was a cat. There's an orange cat that when we moved in, we'd always see him just around the neighborhood. And I asked my neighbor who had been there for a long time, I go, where's the cat? And they go, oh, it's just like kind of the neighborhood cat. And I go, well, obviously it's survived winter, so that's a good thing. These people basically adopted this cat. And I appreciate them for that. So he's got like a little place to live now on their porch. He got stuck in the sewer last summer. Had to call the fire department to get him out. He's doing all right, though. He's doing just fine. So I'm not anti-cat. And my wife and I had a cat. I proposed to my wife with a kitten. Probably a bad idea. Not the marriage, not the proposal, the cat. And we loved our cat. He just couldn't stand our kids. So we had to send him off. He lives with my uncle now. So we had a cat, Ollie. He was great. We love him. But we have a dog, too. I'm clearly team dog. And to the point where I told my wife, I go, he's the last cat we'll ever have. That's it. And we had him for 3 years, and that was it. So I'm all dogs. I get it. Cats can be easier, litter box, all that. Not so much training. If you have a good lap cat, because that was the other thing, too. Some cats are, like, skittish and don't want to hang out with you. You want a cat that you're sitting there watching TV, you can lay down and all that kind of stuff. We do that with our dog, though. And having a dog with kids is, I think, great just because our kids love him, but also when they drop stuff on the floor, we don't have to pick it up.
Yeah.
We took him into his vet appointment, and they go, he's put some weight on. And I go, well, yeah, we got kids. They throw their puffs and their Cheetos and their crackers and stuff on the floor. And he's a vacuum. So that's good. We don't have to clean it up. Very clearly team dog over here for me. Ryan, I feel like I know which way you're leaning to, cats or dogs.
Yeah, I've never had a cat, but it's not even really necessarily
not even close. Not
that I'm an anti-cat or a cat hater by any means, but I just think
I'm not a cat
hater. Dogs
are
just man's best friend.
I'm not a hater on cats. I'm not gonna probably ever own one again. That's fine. We'll ride it out with the dog. We even have the debate now. Like our dogs don't. He'll turn 8 this year. He's a good boy, and he's the best. So I've looked at my wife like, do we gonna get another one? You want to go?
You have to.
That's what I said. She had a dog growing up her whole life too. I'm like, we gotta get another. And granted, we're not. Alvin's doing fine. We're not throwing him out the door or anything. So it's like, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. But I feel like there's something special about having a dog. So again, team dog over here, but vote on Twitter at Matt Fontana Show. 2 for Tuesday. 2 questions, 2 answers. As always, number 1, do you believe the Guardians going to win the AL Central? Number 2, cats or dogs? One thing to wrap up with the Guardians from yesterday. I'm not going to lie, I got like a little emotional with Shane Bieber getting introduced yesterday.
Dude, hold on. I got to say something.
What? Yeah.
Yesterday, I'm watching the game, right?
Yeah.
And I turned on the pregame. I was a little bit late to my TV.
And a whole shebang there.
I don't know what happened, if it got rewinded and I didn't notice. I'm waiting for the damn game to start, and I'm like, holy crap, this is taking forever. Meanwhile, I go on Twitter, I see Nick tweet, Andres Jimenez is back. I'm like, what do you mean he's back? It's the bottom of the third. I didn't even know the game started. I clicked the thing. I was 20 minutes behind.
The game started at 5:10, Ryan.
I know, that's why I was confused. I was confused. I didn't realize that it rewinded.
Were you streaming it?
Yeah.
Okay, sometimes...
Well, no, it was on Bally's.
Oh, okay.
But I didn't realize it like got reset, and I'm like, damn, this is taking forever. Pitch the damn ball.
Sometimes it is like when you start a stream, it'll start at the beginning, and you got to like go to live or something like that.
Yeah, that's what ended up happening.
Probably what happened.
And I was like, oh, damn.
So the intros, which are always fun, that's a great mark of opening day. You have Hammy out there with the podium and introducing the other team, and then you go through the entire Guardians organization, right? The chefs and the dietitians and when they introduced Bieber, man, and I love to see the reaction that the fans had, and you saw Shane getting emotional about that too, and it kind of brought back like everything with where we're at with Bieber, and I let it enter my mind for just a second, knowing that it's not feasible and probably won't happen. I don't want him to go. I'm not quite to the level of Nick Chubb.
I knew that was coming. I was going to ask.
Jose is signed up. He's not going anywhere. But I thought about my Nick Chubb thing where I want Nick Chubb to never play anywhere else ever again, right? I know the contract might not make sense. We're all waiting for that restructure for him.
Did you say the same thing about Kluber?
Yeah, like a little bit, but then the same thing, like the injuries hit, and that was
what's the difference between Klub and Beebs?
I don't know. I think it's prisoner of the moment.
Something you can't put your finger on?
Well, I think the injury, like it going this way, and I'll tell you this, I never felt that about Francisco Lindor. Like, I wanted Lindor to stay here, but it wasn't the tug on the heartstrings. I think the Bieber injury is just playing games. You know what I mean? Like, I just feel so bad for how that went. Now, I don't feel that way about Nick Chubb because of his knee injury. I feel that way about Nick Chubb because of Nick Chubb. I don't ever want him to play for football for anybody else ever again. And I'll be crying the day that doesn't happen. If he retires, he retires. And I'm not saying he's going to now, but what I'm saying is I wanted Andrew Berry to get Nick Chubb a deal so he doesn't play anywhere else ever again. I want that as a fan. Can't have that probably. He's a GM. Talk about Andrew Berry. He's got to do the right thing. Mike Chernoff, Chris Antonetti got to do the right thing for the Guardians. But I'd be lying to you if I didn't say that there's a little piece of me that doesn't want to see Shane Bieber go anywhere else. And what he'll be after this injury, what he was showing, I don't know, man. I have no idea. But, like, it got me. I don't know why it got me. And he spoke to the media yesterday, and he's trying to be in the best spirits possible. Because do you want to know the other kick?
Nah, you know the quote he said that, like, was the tearjerker was, he said, I was starting to fall in love with pitching again.
I know, I saw that.
That was the one that's like, damn.
Damn it. The other thing that's going to be hard is he's going to watch his team be successful. And just the want to be a part of that. That's the other thing that I may be projecting a little bit here. I believe the Guardians are going to play well and just wishing that he was out there. It got me a little yesterday, and there's nothing we can do about it. That's what sucks, and I hope everything goes well. And now you're on the table for an extension. I mean, I really think that there is a potential right now. I meant to Google this earlier, and I apologize. I was late doing this here. Can you trade a player on the injured list, MLB? Injured players may not be traded without permission of the commissioner, nor may they be optioned to the minors. That's it. So he's not getting traded. So at this point, you might as well sign him to a 2-year extension, give him the money for next, and maybe tack on a year. I don't know. Like, at very least, you need him to come back and pitch for you this next year. So, like, you know, those other sports books, I don't want to say who, but like the ones that put crazy odds, you can't usually place bets on them. but like it's just odds for fodder, basically. The odds that Shane Bieber would pitch for the Guardians in 2025. That was probably plus 1,000, right?
Yeah.
And now it's all but assured. They'll sign him to an extension, give him some money coming off the injury, hopefully reestablish his value, or maybe he comes back and he's a productive member of your rotation. I don't know, but at this point, you might as well sign him as the last year. And they'll probably work all that out and get it figured out, but he's going to be back. And I hope he comes back to some semblance of form for us next year. But seeing him get introduced yesterday, I was just like, oh, man, that sucks. It just brought it all back. So I wish Shane all the best for the Guards, and they're off to a really fast start as well. We got our boot. You got it already? It's up. Yeah, Ryan! Yes!
Oh, no. See, one day in the other studio, and I get my hotkeys mixed up.
That's all right. That's all right. You already got it, you beast. Come on now. Let's go. 2 for 2 at home. How about that? We hit a nice little boost yesterday. Guards minus a run and a half. Jose 2 bases. Smacked that on one pitch there.
Yeah, I needed that bad.
We got it on the no runs in the first inning. So that's Padon's big input. And I said, listen, let's go back to that well when we really need it. So today,
I needed that bad.
I think I'm back on the strikeouts here with Logan Allen. The White Sox are not one of the worst strikeout teams. They're also not one of the best. They're like middle of the pack here. But a low 4.5 there for Logie. Let's go.
I like that.
I like that. Stephen Kwan.
It's a little scary to bet 2 hits for a player.
I know.
But
I know.
at this way, the way Kwan's playing, I'm buying in on it.
I tell you the other ones that I was in on. And by the way, if anybody ever wants to get in a part of our boost, just tweet us. Just tweet us in the morning or the night before if you really feel good about a boost. So we'll go with Kwan, and we'll go Guardians to get another nice win today by a couple of runs. So there we are, boosted up to a healthy, what there, Ryan?
Plus 430.
I like it. Let's go. Do it right now. You know, we had people that would tweet us like, oh, you just make these boosts to lose. Bro, we make these boosts. You literally sit down and do it before the show. So I will tell you this. If you want to get in on a boost, if there's something that you really like for the Guardians, tell us, and we'll put it in the boost. 10 spot, boom, done. Oh, man, and I'm getting close to my cash back again there on Tipico. Use that code Fontana100 when you sign up. Deposit and bet $25 on whatever you want. Get $100 in bonus bets when your game ends with code Fontana100. Terms and conditions apply. If you have a gambling problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER. Get signed up with Tipico today. Use that code Fontana100. Cashed a little bit last night in the national championship. We'll talk about that in the morning update. Good stuff there. So let's get going with our friends at Tipico for today with the Guards. All right, let's flip over to the Browns, man. I got a lot of Browns news this morning, which is really interesting. So let's start with Mary Kay Cabot. So Mary Kay does Hey Mary Kay on Cleveland.com. And a lot of questions to her, a few about the draft. I got a mock that you're not going to want to see, Ryan. Some news on the draft this morning. But the question came to Mary Kay, Cleveland.com, from Greg in Indianapolis, that said, why keep Greg Newsome II? He's very inconsistent. They could clear some cap room. I like what I saw in Cam Mitchell. Mary Kay writes back, for starters, the Browns were very happy with Newsome's performance last season and in his first year under Jim Schwartz's defense. He embraced that slot role more than the year before and elevated his game. Also, Andrew Berry is not a guy that gives up early on his draft picks and will certainly allow Newsome to continue to develop. He's also a tremendous bargain this year at a base salary of just $2.4 million. And even if the fifth-year option tender of $13 million is picked up for next year, that's not bad for a good starting cornerback. Mary Kay writes, the Browns are expected to pick up his option by the May 2nd deadline. Okay. I got to be fully transparent with everybody. I got really angry at Greg Newsome after that playoff game.
I think a lot of people did.
And I said some things. Cooler heads have prevailed.
Don't even.
Here's where I'm at. And truthfully, I like Greg Newsome. I've got nothing against Greg Newsome. Great pick. He's lived up to the first round billing. They've changed some positions around for him. I get that. I just was reading your two starting corners are MJ Emerson and Denzel Ward. And if Greg is really going to dive in on this slot position, then sure, absolutely keep him around. It was never me talking about trading Greg Newsome from I can't stand him and I think he sucks and get him out of here. That wasn't the case. That was never the case for me. I just looked at it as he might be the odd man out in that room. I didn't know if they were going to pick up the option. I really didn't. Because $13 million next year, we know all the salary cap games that are getting played. Are you trying to save some money for now? Are you trying to save some money for later? At the end of the day, if they pick it up, I'm not going to freak out about it. That's fine. And in the NFL, you need multiple starting corners. We know there's injury history with Denzel Ward. There's nothing wrong with picking that up. And I guess I can't say that I'm shocked that that's the way they're leaning. Again, according to Mary Kay, the Browns are expected to pick up his fifth-year option. That makes a lot of sense. He's a drafted guy. I'd be lying to you if I also didn't factor in the Jed Wills thing, where that seemed to be a mistake, but you didn't know what you were going to get with DeJuan Jones. You didn't know where you'd be at with Jed Wills. And now I actually think there might be an opening for a Jed Wills extension. We'll get Jack Duffin on, maybe even this week. We're gearing up towards the draft, man. But all this salary cap stuff that's happening, right? If Jed Wills shows up this season and is going to be your starting left tackle, I believe that, and he shows some promise early in the year, maybe you come to him with a modest 4-year deal. I'm not talking with that Jordan Mailata guy. He got 3 years, like 60-odd some $1 million. I don't think that's what I'm talking about here with Jed Wills. But like a 4-year, I don't know, 3-year, 40-odd some million. I probably got to be more than that, probably 50-odd some. I don't know. But it's like you're going to have to pay him around $15, $16, $17 million a year if you want him to be your starting left tackle. Then you talk about the right tackle position with Conklin coming back. He's already paid. What's DeJuan Jones going to be? I'd be lying if I didn't say I was a little scarred on that fifth-year option. I can't let that impact how I view Greg Newsome. But I just look at Newsome, and I'm like, if you got your paid elite corner in Denzel Ward, which, by the way, he's going to need another deal here coming up soon. Let's not forget. And I know Andrew Berry doesn't forget this because he knows something's coming. Both Denzel and Miles are going to need new deals soon. Think about when we signed them. Did that not seem like a light year away? It seemed forever until they were going to need a new deal. Come back up here soon. Not now. They're still under contract for another 2 years. But what I'm saying is, eventually they're going to need new money. And that's where you talk about the money for next year, the future, the Deshaun Watson deal. All that stuff is going to factor in. You're not letting Denzel leave. You're not letting Myles Garrett leave. So that, again, I'm not ripping the Greg Newsome thing here if it happens. But I just thought of like, you don't pick it up, and then you have $13 million extra to play with next year that you could apply then to Miles or Denzel when you try to redo one of their deals. Or is it time? I don't want to think about moving on from Denzel. And MJ Emerson will need a new deal too.
Yep.
He's entering year 3 as a third-round pick. There is no fifth-year option. I'm assuming he has another really solid year. He might want to even hit free agency. He might want to get that number. Now, that's where the Browns kind of what they did with Grant Delpit. Hey, man, here's solid money. Don't even mess with free agency. And it's also a short enough deal that you can still hit it before you hit 30, right? And you got plenty of time to make some money in the NFL. A lot of games, a lot of moving parts here, a lot of money that's going to get thrown around. So with Mary Kay saying she expects the Browns to pick up Greg Newsome's option, I can't say that I'm shocked by that. And it was never something that I was trying to kick Greg Newsome out the door. I read the room. I said, you got a couple of good corners here. I'm kind of in on Cam Mitchell. And I guess how much are you willing to pay a slot corner?
That's the thing.
And the one dude, I can't remember for what team, just signed a deal, and he becomes the highest paid slot corner, right? And he was about that $13 million price tag. What do we know about number one corners? They're getting $20 odd some million a year. That's the going rate for a number one corner. Number two, what's MJ going to get? Is he shooting around 18 to 20? I don't know. And then you talk, that's a lot of money. A lot of money for one room, for one position group. And it's one of the more important positions in football now, quarterback, pass rusher, wide receiver, and corner. That's where you're at. That's where the money's starting to go. But, I mean, that's fine. And still, they have till May 2nd. I'm assuming they'll do it. It's one of the many offseason moves that still got to happen. I'm not out on Greg Newsome. And to Mary Kay, what she wrote there, the kind of shift that maybe he had, going from Joe Woods, that maybe that system wasn't working, to Jim Schwartz, whatever. You got to be a slot guy. That seems like a negative. Does that not seem like you're getting demoted or pushed back? Dude, in reality, that's where we need you to play, and you can still make good money doing it. Let's go all in here.
Well, yeah, I guess that's part of the if that's your plan of going all in, then yeah, I mean you might as well. But that's the problem is he is a slot corner. He's your third best corner on that defense. He's probably what I don't know the eighth, ninth best player if I'm being honest. And then what is Cam Mitchell? I'm assuming you could throw Cam Mitchell in the slot and he's good enough.
I mean,
to do
the
what,
other thing,
do what
let's
Greg's doing.
and this isn't a shot at Cam Mitchell. Again, a late round draft pick going into his second year. I like him. It's fine. I'm all for the development. I don't know if I'm quite ready to throw him in there and say you're going to be playing 75% of our snaps here. Same thing as Ronnie Hickman, right? Great season. Had to fill in on the injury. Love the depth. Don't want him going anywhere. But I'm also not ready to say I'm starting him over Juan Thornhill.
What's the date? May 3rd?
May 2nd.
May 2nd?
May 2nd. So it's after the draft. It's, we're staring down the barrel a couple weeks away from that. I think they'll pick it up. And it just gives you options, too, right? It doesn't mean that they can't trade him away or the guaranteed money. I would also, at that point, you're getting guaranteed money. You believe that Greg Newsome's going to be a part of your football team moving forward. I don't want to ask the question, but I'm going to do it anyway. Like MJ Emerson or Greg Newsome, if you had to pick one to stay.
It's not even close.
That's what I'm saying. That's how I feel, too, with MJ. And I'd imagine other people lean that way, too. But Andrew Berry, pick it up. I think it's the right thing to do.
What's going on with Jock? They're the same draft class.
Well, he needs a deal too, and with your salary cap where it's at right now, you'd have to restructure somebody else. I'm glad you brought that up. Of the off-season checklist that we thought the Browns were going to have, and this is in no particular order. Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah extension. Greg Newsome, 5th-year option. Amari Cooper restructure.
Chubb.
Nick Chubb restructure.
Maybe Deshaun.
Deshaun Watson restructure. I don't know if they're going to do all of it. Some of it, they got to do something.
They got to do Chubb.
They got to do Chubb. And if they can free up some of that cash, because you can't sign Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah to a deal and try to give him some money up front here because you have no money right now.
You need to free probably 12 mil.
Something. And what do they have? 6 or 7 at the moment? Still got a draft class that you got to sign. You got to have some flexibility when you enter the season to try to sign some guys if you need them here and there. I get all of it.
That's where the Deshaun restructure would come in, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen.
What have I been telling you? And I'm not taking that victory lap yet because they still have a lot of time in the summer to do that. That is the quickest one. You solve all your problems with that.
Would you say that's the number one cause of that not restructure is they're worried about Deshaun?
Absolutely.
Okay.
What else would it be?
Yeah,
I mean, it literally, you have got to start.
Or they just feel like
you got to build a back door into this.
Yeah.
Like you have to. Because the deal that you made when you first signed it, there was no way out of it. There was no back door. Now, you paid a good chunk on that contract already. You got to build the back door into this now. It's not because of you, me, or the Browns or anything. It's not even necessarily, I guess, Watson's fault to a point. He's injured and he didn't play well this year. So you got to, it doesn't mean you got to take it, but you better build that out. You better build the way out of this. It doesn't mean you have to take it, but you got to have it. It's better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it. Okay? That's where the Browns are at with Watson. That's why I'm fine taking the chunk now. And then it's not that it won't be a historic dead cap and where all that. I get it. I understand all of it. But I said from the start, I wouldn't do it this season. Pay the piper now. Your team, even again, as this team is currently constructed, you're just fine. The other thing about Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, just franchise tag.
How many starters, Matt? I'm trying to just think off the top of my head. How many of our starters are on rookie deals still?
Rookie, MJ.
I'm just going to say MJ is. I mean, technically Greg and them.
Greg, yeah.
But
and
they're
then,
about to be.
Some of the D-line guys, Alex Wright, and, that kind of guy.
But they're not starters.
But think about the offense. Not a single one outside of the receivers.
That's what I'm
saying. Tillman, David Bell. Everybody else is semi-paid up, right?
And Tillman and David Bell play what, 20% of snaps?
Right. Jerry Jeudy got a new deal. Amari's paid up. Njoku's paid up. The running backs are. I guess Jerome Ford's still on his rookie deal. He's still on his rookie deal as a starter at this moment. Yes. So
and then your whole line isn't.
Whole line's all paid up. Yeah. Well, technically Jed Wills still is because he's playing on the 5th-year option, but he got paid from that. And DeJuan Jones obviously is too, but is he a starter? I don't know. Yeah, that's not a recipe for success.
These draft picks.
That's not a recipe for success. When a good chunk of your starting level guys are still on, and the rookie deals, that's what happens with L'Jarius Sneed. That money's gone. You have superseded where you've played, and they're like, all right, we can't pay you. You got to go somewhere else.
The Chiefs are so good, man.
They got a lot of guys that they find. A lot of guys that they find. The ideal thing, the dream in the NFL is what? You draft, you develop, you pay. But you can't do that for everybody. The 49ers, Eric Armstead, was insulted by the money that they offered, right? And he's the prime example of that. Remember when they traded away DeForest Buckner? Nick Bosa was pissed. And they go, we can't pay everybody. Somebody's got to go. Yeah. And for right now, the Browns have not had any cap casualties. Is that not crazy to say? Who's the last guy that they've really let leave because they can't pay him? It's not happened yet.
Because they haven't been very good.
No, I don't think it's that. It's, okay, I guess to your point, you haven't had a lot of players to eat up a lot of contracts.
Yeah.
Now you do. And now you sit there and you say all these guys that are paid up, eventually it's going to come to head. It's going to come to a point where not everybody can get paid. Some of that will sort itself out. I'm not trying to rush this, but Joel Bitonio eventually will retire, right? And that'll free some up. But why was everybody talking about trading Wyatt Teller last year? It's because of the money that he made. Thank God they didn't trade him. There's a world maybe, I'm just saying this, if they sit down and they go, maybe Denzel Ward's not worth it anymore. I don't know. But you can't pay everybody. And there are new guys that need new deals. Specifically, or probably most importantly, is Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. Let's play that out. Let him play out on his rookie deal. And I know he wouldn't like this, and don't forget that could hurt negotiations. But still, I'm like, dude, we can't pay you right now. But we promise we're going to get you a deal. And if it goes bad, then you just franchise tag him. You get a deal after this season coming up when maybe you get more flexibility. I don't know, but then you have the Watson hit coming. It's just, there's a lot. I'm sure Andrew Berry's losing sleep over this. Trust me. He's got to figure out all these pieces to go. And then, yeah, you factor in this draft class of what you think you're going to be able to get to supplement some things. I don't know. But I assume, again, they're going to pick up this Greg Newsome fifth-year option. It's one of many moves that we expect this offseason, but it's been slow. It's really been slow for the Guardians, the Browns at this point, for what you thought that checklist was going to be. What have they done this offseason? Just for a reminder of people.
Restructured Denzel.
Restructured Jed. Traded for Jerry Jeudy and signed him to an extension.
Jordan Hicks.
I guess free agent. You're right. But I'm thinking about like in-house moves. Okay. Cleaning house. The spring cleaning, so to speak. You're right. Restructured Jed.
Extended Bjorkes.
Got Borquez back. You're right.
My dog.
Yep. But it's like the big ones. Again, the three big ones you look at, Watson, Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah's deal, and Nick Chubb's restructure still aren't done yet.
Yeah.
And I don't feel a pressure. I don't think Andrew Berry necessarily feels a pressure to get that done, but there's still a lot of move that needs to be done there with the Browns. All right, some draft notes that I wanted to get to this morning, including a mock draft that you're not going to like from The Athletic, but...
Gee, I wonder why.
Yeah, I know. I'll tell you why. Mike Garafolo had it this morning. Texas tight end Jataven Sanders, viewed many as the 2 tight end in this month's draft behind Brock Bowers, visiting with the Browns over the next couple of days. According to Move the Sticks, that's Daniel Jeremiah, he sees Sanders as an excellent vertical weapon. Sanders is likely a second-round pick. 54 and a tight end. There, young Ryan, what would you think?
I mean, I don't really know about this kid until, he really got
in a
brought
quick
up,
Google,
but
which now I'm clearly an expert on this.
I mean, you got the Harrison Bryant walked. He's in Oakland. Or Vegas, I should say. I mean, it's Akins and Njoku.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's really... But
maybe
then again,
you're getting another version of David Njoku.
That's what I'm saying. You can run a couple 2 tight end sets.
Did you see that graph yesterday on tight ends and their 40 times?
No.
So there was a graph that got sent out, and I'll try to do it hand-wise here on the show, which I'm sure is just going to go really well. And what it was every tight end last year, or it might have been, it was probably an accumulation of years. And the whole point was yardage and 40 times, where the whole thing was you wanted to be up high for yardage. What was the curve? On the curve that kind of tells you what the average is? You need fast tight ends. The average of that 40 times around 4.6. And you had some guys that were outliers. Mark Andrews, not super fast, had a ton of yards. But a lot of these guys that were over here were Kyle Pitts, and even Njoku kind of pushed it there. TJ Hawkinson was like somewhere around the middle. And it was just interesting that it came up that you want something maybe like this Sanders guy, a true vertical, fast, elite tight end. What's David Njoku's number one attribute? He's really fast.
Yeah.
He's fast. And if I look at a Sanders guy like this, knowing that you might need that position to be filled back up from the bottom, I'm with you. I'm still all in on wide receiver, man. I really am. We got this Benson news. We got this news. And they're doing these top 30 visits. These are not throwaways. These are important things that they're doing. I don't know if I buy it. I'd need talked into it, I think. But I'm still all in on wide receiver there at 54. I am.
I mean, yeah, I'm more attracted to the wide receiver label. But then at the end of the day, I mean, what's Travis Kelce? He's a wide receiver. What's Mark Andrews? Basically a wide receiver. What's George Kittle? I mean, George Kittle, probably the best.
Was that Jimmy Graham that wanted to be classified as a wide receiver when he got the franchise tag? Was that him? Do you remember that?
Because why? Because wide receivers get paid more.
I know, but remember he changed his Twitter bio to be pass catcher and he was fighting the NFL on that. It was Jimmy Graham, right? I'm not missing.
I don't.
I think it was Jimmy Graham. I'm pretty sure it was Jimmy Graham. But still, I mean, drafting the next version of David Njoku, right? There's the time that his deal might need to be redone or not here. I get it. Again, I'm not buying the smoke on that. I'm not buying the smoke on Trey Benson.
I hope
I'm not saying wide receiver, and I'm sorry. I'm not saying that tight end and running back would be my last two picks at 54. They're definitely not first. That being said, I head over to the Athletic 3-round mock here from our guy Nick Baumgartner. Shout out to him. Number 1. I don't even know why I do it anymore. Caleb Williams. Here's a twist. 2. Washington. Drake May. He says May is still growing as a passer, particularly in his consistent processing from the pocket. When you stack him up to Jaden Daniels, though, May's strengths are stronger and the weaknesses are similar. The old higher ceiling debate there. Number 3, I'm sure the New England Patriots would run to that podium to grab Jaden Daniels. Number 4, call it.
J.J. McCarthy.
2,
the Vikings.
Yep, trade up.
I mean,
Arizona.
It seems like that's just bound to happen, according to the NFL Insider.
Minnesota goes up from 11 to 4. They give up 11, 23, and a first-round pick next year for 4. I think Arizona grabs that. Although, how do you pass on Marvin Harrison Jr., man? Woo! J.J. McCarthy, the pick. Number 5, another trade. The Chargers trade out of 5 with the Atlanta Falcons to go get Marvin Harrison Jr.
Wow. That would be dirty.
Say what you want about Drake London. I'm not a big fan. It's Kyle Pitts, Marvin Harrison, Drake London, and Bijan Robinson with one Kirko down there.
That's what I'm saying, man. The Falcons cook. They can cook.
Bears take Malik Neighbors at 6. Rome goes 7 to the Titans. So this is another draft that of your top 7 picks, 4 quarterbacks, 3 wide receivers. Chargers trade back, take Joe Alt at 8. Brock Bowers goes 9 to the Giants, and Fashanu, the tight end from the Penn State, goes 10 to the Jets. I'm just going to kind of cherry pick here on some of these other ones that you find interesting. Bo Nix, 19, Denver. Yep. No trade needed. They just kind of sit there and they take Bo Nix. I could see that very much happening. Then we scroll on down. Donnie Mitchell, wide receiver, goes first round, of course. Number 32, Kansas City Chiefs.
No.
Ladd McConkey.
No, they're going to win another Super Bowl.
This doesn't seem fair, is what they write. Nick writes. The Chiefs need a tackle, but you give Patrick Mahomes the most quarterback-friendly receiver in this draft. It could be a whole lot of fun. Ryan loves
Deshaun
me,
Watson
Ladd
doesn't
McConkey.
Need a quarterback-friendly receiver.
He goes 32. Doesn't even sniff you there, Ryan.
Sign it up. That's 3 in a row for the Chiefs.
Xavier Worthy goes 33 to the Panthers. Braden Fisk, Cooper, BB2 linemen off the board. Keon Coleman goes 43. Michael Penix goes 44 to the Raiders. And down at number 54, your Cleveland Browns select Malachi Corley, wide receiver, Western Kentucky. Nick does a write-up. At long last, the Browns... Oh, man. Getting over this crud, man. Ooh, hang on. Ooh. That was a bad one. Usually I can fight him off. That one got me. Woo! All right, back to Malachi Corley. At long last, the Browns will be back in the first round next year. Meanwhile, Cleveland should have the option to take advantage of this receiver class at 54 or find the next best offensive tackle. Those are the two positions, man. Corley's value extends beyond pass catching. His yards after the catch potential make him a possible run game factor as well. Just to see some of the guys that would still be on the list here in Nick's mock draft for the Browns, Ricky Pearsall goes 62. Jalen Polk goes to the third round in this one. Troy Franklin, also a third-round wide receiver in this draft as well. I forgot about Cade Stover. He's got him in the third round. You want another tight end? I don't know. Am I jaded on Cade because he went to Ohio State?
I don't know much about him. I know he just is
former Mr. Ohio football.
He's a guy that played a lot of positions.
Yeah. Yeah. D-line, linebacker, back to tight end. Probably tells you he's pretty athletic. He also has Jonathan Brooks and Jeremiah Trotter as third-round picks. He has Spencer Rattler going 99 to the Rams. That's an interesting one about if the Browns could trade back up to the third round. You know, the debate about do they want more picks or need more picks versus trading back to acquire more or give up a few to move back up into the third round. I don't know. There's some names there in that third round that get me going. A couple of those guys. But Malachi Corley, would you take it knowing that your guy Ladd is off the board?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, out of the receivers that are probably going to be available there, I mentioned Matt Bowen in an article said he was the best yards after the catch wide receiver in this year's draft class. I mean, yeah, absolutely.
Here's about where they're at in Nick's mock here. Rome Wilson goes 3 picks before, and Leggett goes 1 pick before. So you're in that area of where Rome could fall, Leggett could fall, Corley, Pearsall, Franklin. Those are the names that you're circling around there with the wide receivers for the Browns at 54. I'm sorry, I just had to bring that up to tell you that. I think the Ladd dream is fading.
I mean, if the NFL wants to let the Chiefs win 3 Super Bowls in a row, be my guest.
Nick writes, the most quarterback-friendly receiver in this draft is your guy, Ladd McConkey.
I don't know if I have to scream it from...
You can scream it on this show. I'm all for it.
From the Key Tower down here in Cleveland, I don't know what I have to do, but I'm telling you, man, he's going to be good.
Yeah. I wanted to flip over to college a little bit. We got a lot coming up here in hour 2. We'll revisit our 2 for Tuesday. 2 questions, 2 answers. Do you believe the Guardians are going to win the AL Central? And cats or dogs? We'll debate that here on the Matt Fontana Show, streaming Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, on Twitch as well. Just search us at Matt Fontana Show, and you'll find it all there. It's back up about college football that this Super League is being pitched yet again. And the story goes that they are thinking about a soccer-style system. And I'll tell you, I don't know much about soccer. Ryan doesn't really either about the Premier League. Here's my understanding on a base level. You have all of these teams in Europe, in England, where all over, right? And they all play within their own league. Then they play in a league that is just England, right? And then they play in the Champions League, where if you win your league, then it's a group of these people. And then you have the Premier League, which you have to get into, and then you can get relegated. And my understanding, again, that these teams, say soccer, what do they play? 3-4 times a week, probably, right? I think something like that. You could have a Champions League game on Monday. You could have a Premier League game on Wednesday, right? You just match it up all that way. But the whole point is you've got all these different teams that still eventually all come together. Is that not what college football needs? You have all of these teams, and you eventually need them to come together. That would make you the most money. It'd be, in a way, the easiest to follow. And I think with the evolution of soccer in America, it's easier for people to get on the uptick, right? Like, I think if you tried to pitch this 10 years ago, people would be so confused. They would not understand what's going on. Now, you're like, well, a lot of people out there are at least have working knowledge of the Premier League to understand what it is. Maybe this will work. The pitch kind of seems like this. There would be 2 groups. And this is literally ripping off what Chip Kelly said. Get your Power of 5 group and your Group of 5. And the split that I was kind of reading about was like 70-50, something like that. 70 in the Power and 50 in the group. You still keep your conferences. Ohio State still plays Illinois, but Illinois is in the other group and we're up here. Then get into like the matchups of like, do you change where you've got to play X number of Power of 5? Like, there's so many intricacies. But at the end of the day, you still get done, have your conference championships, and you still play it out with your what soon seems to be a 14-team playoff now coming our way. And they continue to expand that out. I don't see any other way out of it. I do not see any other way out of this other than just saying, almost abolishing the conferences.
I was going to say, to me, that sounds like
you
you're just
can't
getting rid
do
of
that
them.
because everybody's got TV deals, right? And ESPN just signed up for this, and the SEC's going back here. Like, they've signed all this money. So you can't abolish it. There's contracts set in stone for years in advance, right? So you can't quite do that. But what I think for the average fan is, what am I getting at the end of the season? What am I able to follow during the season, at the end of the season, to say this is how we come to our national champion? It was easy in the past, right? You win your games, you go to your conference championship, you go to the playoffs. That system very clearly doesn't work anymore, right? It doesn't work. So what are you going to change to make it work where it's understandable for the fans? There's still money to be made for the greedy sons of guns at the NCAA. And it's also fair to the schools. Let's think about this, Ryan. The schools got to know how this operates. As they schedule things out, as they understand what they're playing for, they got to have a system in place. I do have a fear that this is moving 1,000 miles an hour. And they're trying to get this all done super fast, and that's when you make mistakes. The thing is, they go, well, we make a mistake, we'll just remedy it, right? We'll just change it again. We'll just keep making moves until we find the right thing. But how are you actually going to know you found the right thing unless you give it a chance to breathe? You got to give it a chance to see what you have. Dude, they didn't even make it a year.
That's what I'm saying.
Of the 12 team before they go, oh, we're just going to go to 14 now.
At this point, just do it.
More is not always better.
At this point, just do a 10-week regular season and just March Madness it out in the playoffs from there.
I mean, is that such a bad idea? I don't think so.
I would love to watch that.
I don't think so.
That's trim some of the selection show.
Trim some of the fat. Well, the other thing I thought about, imagine have the relegation show. Have that on ESPN of the teams that are trying to come up from the group of 5 to the power 5. Now, here's the thing. If you're Tulane, I'm just pulling Tulane out of my butt here. Do you really want to enter that fray? Would you rather just dominate the group of 5 and not go up to the power 5? I don't know. And it doesn't change scheduling because you could still do all your schedules and it just changes what trophy you're playing for. And then they get more games because then you got the playoffs for the group of 5 too. It's basically what you have now with 1AA. You're just cutting it up again. The more you slice the pie, the less pie you get everybody gets. You want to keep cutting this up and dividing everything up. What's the point? And you and I have to maybe have that uncomfortable conversation to say there are some Division I programs that will never win a national championship. So what is the point?
That's the problem.
What's the point? Some of those schools, I'm not going to say who, they go to Alabama to get a fat paycheck to get waxed by the Crimson Tide. But they need that money. And then the money that they get when they go play their conference games, and some of them make bowl games with 1,200 people in the stands, but everybody got a free PlayStation or free Nintendo Switch, all the players did when they went to this bowl game, and we all sit down and watch a meaningless game in the middle of December. I get it. That's all kind of fat. Maybe we got to trim that a little bit. The ultimate goal is we want the best teams playing the best teams for the right to go to the national championship and win the whole damn thing. Nothing else really matters to me. And that comes from a position of power because I'm an Ohio State fan. I'm bougie. I'm rich. Not really. But from a college football standpoint, I am. Ohio State wins their spring game because it's on Fox. It's on Fox.
I don't know who the hell watches that, man.
Would you rather watch that or a UFL game?
I'd rather watch UFL game.
So would I. I'm kind of getting into the UFL a little bit here. But they're streaming. They are going to live programming on Fox, have a spring game to watch a practice. Ohio State's all loaded up. We know that. So this is me from a position of power, not giving a damn about anybody else. Not giving a damn about the small schools. And the NCAA, let's call it for what it is, neither do they.
Yeah.
Neither do they. They want their rich, fat programs to be the ones playing the big games on Saturday night and eventually making the playoffs. And wait until they get to Fridays. I know the NFL is already starting to kick the tires on Friday, right? Or no, well, college is already on Fridays.
Yeah, college.
They're already there. It's just this giant fight. And I think the more that the NCAA, again, the more they change, I don't necessarily think that's always good. But the further they kick the can down the road of actually figuring out what they're doing, the rest of us are just kind of sitting in limbo. I want something I can stick my teeth into. I want to jump into something to say, this is how you go win a national championship, or this is how I can see the best football. I'll be the first to tell you, I don't think the old system was broken. I'm a child of the BCS. I loved the BCS. I thought it was perfect. I loved it from the standpoint, I thought they should just do that for the 12-team playoff, right? Just bring that back. Now, the problem is, as somebody who didn't want Florida State to go last year, how do you factor in that Jordan Travis broke his leg and he was out? You got to factor that in. I don't know.
I want a 10-week season. March Madness it out from there. Give me a selection show, the best 64 teams in Division I.
Oh, you can't do 64, Ryan.
Why?
Because that's 6 extra games to go win a championship.
That's why they do it in basketball. That's why.
Well,
I guess because you can't play. You're going to play one a week. I get that, but
right. That's 6.
Okay,
extra.
then do 32.
Okay, but then the other, I'm fine with 32.
Then let's do 32.
Because the other thing is talking about if they play a 12-game schedule. Because the other thing that they act like they care about is how many games
conference
these guys play.
championships don't matter anymore.
So that's what I'm saying. You play a 12-game regular season plus a conference championship plus now potentially 2 games to win the national championship. There's 15 games right there. And now you add the extra games, you're playing 16. You're playing a National League football game schedule.
That's what I want to see.
That's where you got to go back, trim some of this bull crap.
Because I don't
mean to rip on the MAC schools that get their money for their athletic departments by going to play.
That's the problem.
Now,
I don't want to watch. Nobody wants to watch Alabama play Southern Florida.
I know, but that's the thing. They need that money. Here's the fix. The NCAA, just give them their money. Yeah, right. I know that'll never happen. You could fix that by going to the NCAA saying, all right, instead of you getting $1 million to go down there, we're just going to give you $1 million. That ain't happening. That's never happening. So you're going to create this problem, the haves and the have-nots. That's life. Haves and have-nots. And the problem is the NCAA's got a big group of have-nots, and they're trying to make like they matter, and they really don't. But I do think the best way to go forward is what they're pitching here. Divide it out. Have the haves and the have-nots. The have-nots can play for the have-nots trophy, and the haves can play for the haves trophy. What you do in between that, don't care. Don't care. Or, yeah, I got an idea. Ooh. I'm thinking it through here before I get it to everybody here on this. Can I talk you through this here for a second? Sit down. Take notes. Crack a beverage. What do you think? What if you did it this way? Ohio State. They're in a conference, right? What if you set your schedule? I'll give you your 10-game schedule, right? And there are legacy games. Like, you know how, remember they did that about games that don't get changed no matter what on the rotation, right? Ohio State is always going to play Michigan. They're always going to play Penn State, right? Okay, fine. They'll always play Oregon. The relegation system works like this. The teams in your conference, if they get relegated out, the team that gets relegated up takes that slot. Like, imagine this. Ohio State with a 10-game schedule. You end with Michigan. You know in week 5 you're playing Oregon. Week 6 you're playing Penn State. Those teams will never leave, right? They'll never leave the power of 5, so they'll always be there. What if week 3 was just open and that slot would be taken by a newly up-relegated team? So then your 10-game schedule is truly nothing but teams in the power of 5. Because the messy part is when they're playing a team that's not in their conference. So again, imagine this. The NCAA says we're dividing this right down the middle. There is a power of 5. These are the cream of the crop. Alabama, Georgia, Ohio State, Oregon, USC, UCLA. They're in this. Your group of 5 is Illinois and Indiana and some of the lesser teams in the Big Ten. And if they do enough to get bumped up, then they get to play Ohio State.
I'm fine with that.
But then you have open on your schedule, and I know people would bitch about tickets and who that team would be and logistics and all that. I'm just trying to think a way through it, where you say that game is forever at home. Week 3 is at home. You know it's at least at Ohio Stadium, and it could be one of 4 teams, right? We just don't know which until the relegation show or something like that. You get what I'm saying? You understand kind of what I'm trying to figure out here for the NCAA?
Hey, man, if I don't have to watch Ohio State play Akron.
That's my point. I don't want to see that.
I'm all for
even
it.
Teams in their conference, I don't need to see Ohio State kick the living crap out of Rutgers anymore. I just don't need to see it. Now, the issue is you're selling Rutgers short. What if they got good all of a sudden?
Well, then
relegate and come back up, right? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You get good, then get relegated back on up. Go play the rest of those have-nots over there. They got a lot on their plate. I also don't think that they're, I mean, obviously I'm not in the room. I don't know. Are they actually working on this?
Who knows?
That's what I'm saying. I don't even actually know they're trying to get this figured out, which is kind of a negative in its own right. All right, let's catch our first break of the morning. When we come back, we got the morning update, talk about the national championship game last night. We'll get into more on that. We got guards. We'll bring up a little bit of our boost again later. And all this golf stuff's coming up. John Rahm said that he hoped his move to LIV would expedite the coming together in pro golf, but unfortunately, it's not up to me. At the end of the day, I did what was best for myself. Bro, you divided it even more. Did John Rahm really think like he was the Messiah? And he goes, I'll go over to LIV, and when I go over to LIV, I'll bring everybody back together. No, you actually fractured it even worse, okay? Of anybody that left for LIV, John Rahm's the one that hurt it the most.
Oh, 100%.
I thought it was Cam Smith for a little while.
But he's not on the level, Rahm.
But nobody's on the level of John Rahm. Nobody is. So we'll talk. Who?
Scotty.
Scotty's very, yeah, you're right. God, I hope, God, that's the PGA Tour better be going to him and be like, I don't
Yeah.
you better, please, God, don't. Please, God, don't. And there's some other guys. Like, I don't want to see Xander Schauffele go. I don't want to see Colin Morikawa go. I don't want to see Rory go, but you cannot lose Scott. You ain't losing Scott. There's no way that's happening. So we'll mix in a little bit of golf coming up as well. We got it all for you. Oh, one other thing, too, I wanted to get to in hour two. David Schoenfield. No. This was your guy. Bradford Doolittle.
Nice.
ESPN. Why didn't the Guardians do something this offseason? So for every team in baseball, he asked a question, why didn't my team get X? The Diamondbacks. Why didn't they get a bullpen arm? The Braves. Why didn't they get a shortstop upgrade? What did he say about the Guardians? Why the heck didn't the Guardians ... I'll tell you that in hour two. So we'll get to that coming up. We'll give the Immaculate Grid another try, and we'll see how that goes. Stay with us, Fontana Show right here on Big Play. Big day yesterday for us as always. Blake and Greg Williams come get some. We had Reflog on with us yesterday. Big Play Cincy Show yesterday. Eclipse Show. They had Jensen Lutz. By the way, I don't mention this enough.
Cleveland Show.
What did I say? Cincy? Sorry, that is on Thursdays, by the way. Big Play Cleveland Show. They have Jensen Lewis on every Monday.
Yeah.
You want to talk baseball? Jensen's on every single Monday with the crew over there. So check that out. And also, you want to talk Guardians Insight? Who's better than Gab? She's at every single game. She's the in-stadium announcer. So it's great stuff with them. Hanford Show last night. Again, Blake and Greg Williams tonight. Josh and Maria Cribbs on the hunt for love there for young Ryan over there. And Enter the Jungle, James Rapine, Andrew Fox Miller. They got it all for you covering the Bengals. Folks, Big Play is where it's at. Website, bigplay.com. Several Twitter handles there for you, Big Play. And I love following those just because they retweet all of our content. You want to find any of our shows, you want to find Chico, you want to find us, you want to find Drennan, just go on social and specifically Big Play. You'll see all the shows there. We got it all. Boobies World, everything that you need with us right here at Big Play. So check it out. Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. We stream on Twitch. We're everywhere that you need it. All right, first break of the morning. We'll tell you about Tipico. We got plenty coming up. Hour two upon us. Stay with us.
Well, how do they know I'm doing this? Did somebody leak this out?
It's social media.
Oh.
It's just, that's the way social media works now.
I thought maybe you were just running that yap.
Welcome to Big Play, a sports media team that started back in 2014, and now we're not in a garage. Look at us, incorporating some of Cleveland's favorite sports personalities, bringing you fun and compelling content from downtown Cleveland. Coming to you live from the shores of Lake Erie and Burke Lakefront Airport, join Team Big Play for all the best sports talk in Ohio. Check us out on social media at Big Play, bringing you fun and compelling content from downtown Cleveland.
Anthony Schlegel, just how physical he was. You saw the girth and the power and everything he was bringing to the table, especially when he was a nice beefy 255 playing middle linebacker.
we were called soft last year. You don't want to be soft, especially when you come to the playoffs. So that's going to be a process throughout this season of establishing us as a harder team here in the
How does an Ohioan build the perfect parlay?
Who's got something? Big guys looking for long odds. The kids in Columbus are covering better than anyone, and at even odds. If it's even, I'm leaving. Listen, our championship DVD starts today, all right? Dude, I just got an invite to a Cincy playoff watch party. Shut up. Cincy, State, Cleveland, the perfect parlay. I'm a genius.
For the best odds on Ohio sports, bet with your cojones.
It is Spanish, dummy.
Bet with Typical Sportsbook.
I don't buy into this nonsense, this conspiracy nonsense that he's got his money and he's dogging it. That's ridiculous.
All right, we'll get to the morning update. National championship last night. Guards. Want to recap some of our college football discussion. So I got to text. Not everybody can text the show. Some people can text the show, but not a lot. Unnamed source here. College football take. Power schools should all just follow the Notre Dame format. No more conferences and play whoever you want. Being a conference for the other sports, you don't need them anymore. And then I said I agree with that because then what you could do, follow the NFL format and just every single game becomes an individual entity and you bid on it. So imagine just for a second, and I know it probably wouldn't work because, again, the deals at Fox and ESPN, they've all signed and they're worth billions of dollars, right? But what if you said everybody can play anybody, right? And it's up to Ohio State to set their own schedule. Okay, number one, you would need them to actually schedule good games because with a wide open format for the playoff, they could just schedule Central Michigan and Illinois and just beat everybody, and you assume they'll get picked for the playoffs. So there's one issue with it. But if you really thought they were going to negotiate or schedule games in good faith, then you have Ohio State, Oregon, and you said it that it's going to be on October 16th. I think it's my parents' wedding anniversary. That's why I'm thinking of it. And it's on a Saturday, and it's an 8 o'clock game. And you have all these games in a row. You know, you have Notre Dame, USC. You got Notre Dame, Michigan. You've got Georgia, Alabama. And you just sit down with ESPN and Fox and everybody and go, all right, first up, Ohio State, Oregon. We start the bid at $1 million, you know, and then they just cycle through. That's one way that it could work if you truly abolished the conferences. Here's a great question. What is upsetting you the most with college football right now? Is it the conferences? Is it the playoffs? Is it transfer? Is it NIL? Like, what is the gnawing thing at you right now? What is the one thing that you hate the most about college football right now? For me, it is the conference bull crap. I hate that. I hate it. I don't like it. The fact that, and one of my many gripes is, the Rutgers pistol and rifle team has to travel to Eugene, Oregon, right? The all these other sports now get impacted by it. You get what I'm saying? When it really is all college football. They should be separated. It should be its own thing right now and then get figured out. But we had a good conversation about it. We'll continue that on as well. Ryan, morning update. Please take it away.
Well, Matt, the Guardians are off to an 8-2 start. Their best start since 2011. They're leading the AL Central right now. I mentioned earlier the best MLB run differential by 10 runs, Matt. Stephen Kwan leading the way. He's tied for second with the most hits in the MLB, but he's averaging the most per game.
The thing is, you had an easy schedule to start. You took advantage of that. You play in a weak division, and you're starting to get a little momentum with your players, with your hitters. I think most everybody, even in that organization, would tell you last year was a disappointment. I'm not saying that it wasn't expected, but it was a disappointment. And there are a lot of guys that probably want to redo, right? You mostly think of Andres Gimenez, right? But there are guys stepping up now that are trying to, remedy what they did last year. But also, what do you have? A bunch of guys trying to make their name. Tyler Freeman, who I almost put in our boost today. All I needed was one hit from Ty. I almost put him in the boost today. But Tyler Freeman's trying to prove that he can be an everyday center fielder. Laureano and Brennan fighting for that spot. Talk about Brian Rocchio showing up to say, this is my job, and I don't want anybody else to take it from me. You need that balance. You need some guys that are hungry in there, getting after it, and you are. The one other thing, too, from yesterday, because I don't think it was Rocchio. I think it might have been Hedges. A bunt. Now, I know it got called back as it was foul, but a bunt just warms my heart. I love that. You move your runners, man. Bunting is a lost art in baseball, and I love to see it. Love where the Guardians are at right now. To our Twitter question this morning, Ryan, if you have it up, please. Do you think the Guardians are going to win the AL Central, yes or no?
66% say yes.
All right.
33% say no.
All right. We got to dive into some tweets because you sent the tweet yesterday about the Guards. Yeah. I want to do that after the morning update. All right, we'll do the grid, too. We'll give it a short run on the grid today. We'll see how it goes. But I do want to dive into some tweets. At Matt Fontana Show, drop us a follow there.
All right, man. Well, the Guardians are in a good spot, but not the same for our current Cleveland Cavaliers team. Just 3 games left. They have off tonight, but then they take on the Memphis Grizzlies. And then it's the Pacers and then the lowly Hornets.
Yeah, I mean, just kind of, we just needed the day to get away from the Cavs for a second. They need a day to get away. I don't want to talk about Donovan's knee anymore. I don't want to talk about Darius Garland. I don't want to talk, we just need a day. All right, we just need a day. Set it on away. That's okay. I'm glad you brought it up. Noteworthy. Scoreboard watching. Do we not have a couple of games tonight that we need to keep our eye on? I think we do. I think we have 2. If I'm not mistaken. So you have the Pacers and the Raptors. Go Toronto. Celtics, Bucks don't necessarily and then the Knicks have the Bulls. God bless it. Matt.
Who do the Magic have? The Hornets?
The Rockets.
Okay.
Not as bad as the Hornets. I mean, they're a 500 basketball team. I get it. You want your spreads for tonight? Orlando, 3.5 over the Rockets. Knicks are 4.5 over the Bulls. Pacers 12.5 over the Raptors. So honestly, tonight we got a lot of games to keep our eye on. Woo! Lot of games. Really, you have 3 that you're going to look at. Pacers, Raptors is probably 3rd on that list, but you're rooting for the Raptors. You really need the Bulls to pull something out of their butts and beat the Knicks, and you'd really like something for the Rockets there. The good news is both the Knicks and Bulls, Magic and Rockets, that's in Chicago and in Houston. So both those teams are on the road. So I need DeMar DeRozan and Fred VanVleet to show the hell up here. Greta? No.
Well, UConn wins the national championship again as they defeat Purdue 75-60, Matt. They're the first team to cut down the nets in back-to-back years since 06-07, the Florida Gators.
Should have known. Well, it's not that I should have known because I did know that I took UConn on several different wagers on Tipico that I really love. They're just too damn good. And even, you saw the path for Purdue of they got Klingon in foul trouble. They got Samson Johnson in foul trouble, and Zach Edey still just couldn't get it done. What was that stretch? They had 30 points at halftime, and I think midway through the second half, they only had 38 or something. Purdue didn't have the horses. They had Zach Edey, and that was it. You saw him try late. I mean, it was just UConn's just dominant, man. They were so good. And again, a lot of those guys will be gone and kind of the overturn. I know Dan Hurley, him pushing, what was that, Cam Stewart or whoever his guard was. You remember that? He pushed him. He didn't even think about it. I stayed up to watch the whole game. I had wagers on it.
I didn't watch a single minute.
Oh, it was fun.
I was asleep.
It was a fun game to have a wager on because it was all UConn. Yeah, man, they're dominant. I already have it out from CBS Sports this morning. I saw the odds for next year. You want to pull those up real quick?
Yeah, well, I did see a way too early top 25, and I will say my Bearcats slid in there at 25.
Yep,
Ohio State was just on the bubble.
Yep. And that's the thing. I think Ohio State's got a chance. Maybe next year. We'll see. But congratulations to UConn. Basketball season done and done. Now we're ready for the NBA playoffs. Overall, March Madness. Thumbs up, down.
Good start. I would say kind of a boring
Waned out.
finish.
Now, I will tell you this. Did the women not just completely own this? I think they were better than the men. This March Madness.
Hands
they
down.
owned it, man. They
and
did.
That's the reason that I fell asleep and I didn't watch the game. And I think many people felt that way. And I got
18
evidence.
million?
I got evidence that is a fact, Matt. Why? Because South Carolina's victory over Iowa in the women's
you got that
championship
story now.
game
There we go. Perfect
averaged, Matt, 18.7 million viewers, Matt. That's the most a sporting event in the United States has drawn since 2019. The only events in between that have drawn more viewers, football, the World Cup, and the Olympics.
That's it. More than the finals, more than the World Series. They did it smart. 3 o'clock on a Sunday, man.
So nice.
3 o'clock on a Sunday. What is the NCAA stick up their butt about playing late on a Monday night? When you don't have the power, because, Ryan, you and me and everybody knew that UConn was going to smack them.
And it was the same thing last year.
Smack them.
When they beat at San Diego State. Not a single soul
Nobody
picked San Diego State.
Nobody cared. They did it right. I'm excited to see that growth. I think overall great. I'm gonna be biased because it was here in Cleveland and we had a great showing and it was awesome and you had everything that you wanted to see on the women's side. So really well done on all parts there. Men's coming to an end. No shock that it is, of course, UConn. Well done.
Well, Matt, we are just days away from the opening round of the Masters this year. I know you're excited. I'm excited. And we got some early odds out on who might get their green jacket.
It's got to be Scott.
Number 1, Scotty Scheffler, heavy favorite, plus 475. The next best odds, Rory McIlroy at plus 1,100. Tiger Woods, plus 10,000.
I'll just take him to make the cut. I'm also going to watch to see if Fred Couples makes the cut because he set the record last year for being the oldest player to ever make a cut. I'm in for him to do it again.
Matt, what value do you like the most out of this for Scotty Scheffler? Plus 475 to win it all, plus 105 to make the top 5, or minus 190 the top 10.
I can't even bet that. I don't even want to bet that, right? You're better off taking that he'll miss the cut just for your value. Put a couple of bucks on that. We'll do our golf breakdown tomorrow because I do want to give you some long shot guys that I like for Augusta this week. Is it down for you're a golf fan? I'm a golf nut. There's something special about the Masters for me. Has it been taken away? Oh, John Rahm's speaking right now from the Masters. Great. Has the live stuff gotten in the way for you at all?
No, because I'm a casual viewer.
Okay.
So me personally, no, but I understand how it causes a lot of conflict.
I look at it, there's a lot of people that would look at this past weekend, the Texas Open, that's the last shot for you to get in. And I can never pronounce his name, but I apologize. Batia made it in. He won his first event. He gets to go to the Masters now. But you don't have the field that everybody wants. You don't get to see Scotty Scheffler take on John Rahm. Well, now you get it at the Masters. Now you get it there. And I will tell you this. As a pretty diehard golf fan, they need to get this fixed because it is broken. And it is starting to impact how I watch the game. I'm not one of these people that are going to bitch and moan about not being able to see all these guys. It's even just the other stuff of people just making this a story. I don't support Liv. I won't support Liv. I don't like them. They took some of my favorite golfers. They frankly took some golfers I'm glad they took, so I don't got to see Patrick Reed anymore. I think he's a jackass. I don't like Bryson DeChambeau. They took some guys I do like. I like Brooks. I like John Rahm. I like Dustin Johnson. Fine. But it's broken, and they need to fix it, okay? 2 never works. Why is there only one NFL? Because there's only one. You need to get it fixed. You have the best guys on the number 1 door. However they do that, however you divide the money up, I don't care. I thought about this. Here's an idea. And the PGA, who's getting all this money now, here's what you do. And maybe this is eventually the come together that they will. The guys that stayed in the PGA Tour, cut them a check. Cut them a check for what they would have gotten from Liv. And beat a real number. Because don't forget, the money that these guys got from Liv was actually an advance on some of the money that they get for tournament wins. Cut Scotty Scheffler and Rory McIlroy and Colin Morikawa and the guys that stayed. Cut them a check and go down the line. Not everybody gets an equal one. Cut them a check and say, this is what you would have got from Liv. Now everybody is whole. Everybody is made equal. And let's come together and let's play some freaking golf. Okay? Can we just do that, please? Some of the guys aren't complaining, though, because they're winning tournaments that they would have never have a chance to win because some of the best golfers are over there. But now you get to the Masters. I'm still all in. I love it. We'll see how it goes. I don't know if I love it, Ryan, but we'll see how it goes.
Well, Matt, the Browns are in it.
Okay. I think we need to start this with just like I feel like we just need to get in the right headspace. A little cleansing here for the Immaculate Grid that has just frankly throttled us for the past month. But we keep doing it. Why? I don't know, because I don't want the game to win. I don't want the Immaculate Grid to win.
We got Browns, Steelers, and Ravens in this.
We should have no reason to screw this up.
And Patriots.
Pretty easy. Down, left, and right, statistical category. We need to complete it. We have 9 minutes to do so. Ryan, our last statistical category, please.
1,000-yard receiving season.
Go!
Do Amari Cooper?
Yep. You want to know who else I thought of that fits now for the Patriots-Browns? Josh Gordon. But we can also put Dan Shelton there as well.
Jamie Collins. So many, honestly. I'll let you pick today.
Doesn't any of the ones work there for me? That's fine.
Give me a name.
Dan Shelton. Danny Shelton. Great.
2%. Good pool.
Wow, thank you very much.
Joe Hayden?
Yeah, that's fine. I was going to say Larry Ogunjobi, to be honest with you, but that's a good one, too.
Vikings.
Stephon Diggs. Okay. That works for me. Odell doesn't work for any of the other ones, so if you want to put him down for Ravens 1,000-yard receivers. Because it just has to be in his career.
Yeah, did it with the Giants.
Did it with the Giants, so that works.
Okay, I don't know why they didn't give it us.
Maybe it's got to be 1,000 yards with that team. Does it say that underneath the little tiny font?
No. We got
all right, so, but... Okay, fine. Then, yeah, we'll go with Mark Andrews. So don't put him in there.
Wait,
but
just go make sure OBJ topped 1,000 yards. He had to have.
No, I know for a fact. It had to have been with that team, I guess. You know his middle name is Cornelius?
Odell's?
Yeah.
Just confirm. He's topped 1,000 yards.
Yeah. 5 times.
That's what I thought. Okay.
5 times.
So we got that.
So again, count that. Do you want to? Can you reset it, or you can't do it?
But we know it's there.
But I want the look of all the green, Ryan.
Matt,
all right, fine. That one's good to go. All right, so now we're in it. You want to just try to knock out some Steelers Ravens there? Oh man, Patrick Queen hasn't played a game yet though for the Steelers Ravens.
No,
that's a tough one. All right.
Wait, where are we focusing?
Let's go Ravens. So let's go Ravens, Steelers, Ravens.
Well, I got one for Patriots, Ravens.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Billy Cundiff.
Oh, that's a good one. That actually would have worked for Browns, Ravens too. Okay. Wait a minute, Ryan.
Yes, he did.
For the Patriots?
I'm almost positive.
I don't think so.
He played a year.
Well, now we've screwed this up, man. What do you mean? I believed you because you were all in on it.
I'm positive.
Nope.
I mean, I know he missed the kick against the Pats with the Ravens, but then
that doesn't count for this.
But then I thought he went to the Jesus.
On the day that we thought we were going to get this done, to let the Immaculate Grid live.
Good gravy. All right, well, let's just get 8 out of 9.
Okay.
You said, okay, good one.
Okay. All right, great. Here we go. All right.
God bless America.
Yeah. Ravens, there should be an easy Ravens Steelers one that we're not thinking of, and I don't know why.
Oh, I haven't really thought about it yet.
Ravens Steelers. Kevin Zeitler's played for everybody but the Steelers in the AFC North. Ravens. Oh, man. All right, like Kyle Van Noy never played for the Steelers.
Did Todd Heap ever play for the Steelers?
No. Trying to think of. There's got to be a backup quarterback. There's got to be a quarterback. Or to your point, like a kicker prior. Actually, no joke. I think Billy Cundiff might work there.
You played for the Steelers?
I don't think so. Actually, no, he didn't. Because I actually have his Wikipedia up to look that up, so no, it's not Billy Cundiff. Hunters? No, not Dave Zastudil. Dave played for the Ravens and the Browns, but I don't think he ever played for the Steelers.
Ravens, Patriots. You want to go there?
That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking Ravens, Patriots. Oh, I'm sorry. You're talking about Ravens, Patriots. I'm really trying to think of any Ravens players now that have flipped, that have gone and done either one. Dude, I thought this would be a layup. Thought this would be so easy today.
Basketball.
No. Well, any Vikings players? It's just too much. We need to just like focus on a team, and I can't.
Billy Cundiff just threw it.
Completely thrown, man.
Completely
we are
derailed.
completely thrown. All right. It's also like every time that we go through the list and I say try to remember these guys and I never do.
Yeah, no, it doesn't
Josh
work.
Johnson's got to work. I know for a fact that he played for the Ravens, and I think he played for either one of those teams. I think probably the Patriots more. Done.
Let's try Ravens Steelers.
I hate it. I hate it, and it keeps winning.
Any you want to see?
Yeah, just go all of them. Go
Ravens Steelers.
Yeah, that's fine.
Le'Veon Bell.
Well, yeah, Steelers make sense. Did he play for the Ravens?
Well, yeah, obviously Steelers.
Oh, yeah.
Played a season for the Ravens. I don't remember.
Oh.
Mike Wallace.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. No real quarterbacks. Maybe that was tougher than we thought.
Jacoby Jones. I mean, there's only 23 players that have ever done that.
Okay. All right. So maybe that's not so bad. Ravens, Patriots.
Vinny Testaverde, man.
Yeah, we always forget about
Matthew
him.
Judon.
Oh, man.
Ryan Mallett.
Yeah,
Danny Woodhead.
I should have got that.
Aguilar.
Yep. Danny Woodhead should have got that. Mallett should have gotten. Son of.
Vikings, Patriots.
Yeah. What?
Randy Moss.
Yeah.
Matt Castle again. That's another one I remember.
Yeah.
Cordell Patterson, Jalen Rager.
Yeah. Yep.
It's cooked.
We are cooked.
Oh, Cavs are on the basketball one.
But what are you gonna do? Cavs. Okay, Wiggins.
Oh, wait, well, let me pull those things and see it. We're doing it. We can do this.
Why?
Let's rip it real quick.
All right.
Cavs, Warriors.
Wiggins.
Well, Wiggins didn't play a game, though.
Oh, my God. You're right. Holy God.
But we can do...
Andrew Bogut.
Yeah.
He played a game. Broke his leg, but he played a game. I mean, who else? Okay, wait. If you really don't want to do him, then you could do...
Ramon Sessions.
Baron Davis, too. Because that's who we trade. Ramon Sessions. Wait, does Ramon Sessions work for anybody else? I think he actually might work for the Celtics, too.
I think he does.
Tristan Thompson's an easy layup there, too, though.
You want to do Baron Davis?
Yeah, that's fine. Baron Davis is fine. I think Ramon Sessions works there. I think he does. Let's just do Tristan. That's fine.
Yeah, he played.
I think Ramon Sessions
Tristan
works.
Thompson did play a year in the Celtics. I don't remember that.
Was it not? Wait a minute. Stop that, Ryan.
He very well could have. I do think Ramon Sessions works. We could also do Shaq, for crying out loud.
Yeah, he played a year for he went to the Celtics right after us. Go Tristan, because that's who we said. What's the final one?
All NBA.
LeBron, yeah. Pacers, Paul George. All NBA, Paul George. Rockets, James Harden.
Okay.
All right, Rockets, Warriors.
Chris Paul.
Oh, yeah. Rockets, Celtics. Ooh, we might have to stew on that one for a second.
Pacers, Warriors.
Pacers Warriors. I don't know why.
Jarrett Jack?
That's a good pull.
I don't know.
I don't know if he actually played for the Pacers.
I don't know.
Though. I don't know why Mike Miller keeps didn't Mike Miller play for the Warriors? Am I misremembering that?
I think so.
Okay, there's somebody about a tall white guy on the corner. Mike Dunleavy? Is that who I'm thinking of that? That's who I'm thinking of for the Warriors. But I don't know if he ever played for the Pacers. Mike Dunleavy? There's some tall white three-point shooting guy that I keep thinking about with the Warriors. Yeah, Mike Dunleavy was with the Warriors. That's how he started his career.
Did he play with the Pacers?
He actually did. Put him in there. Screw it. Mike Dunleavy. Give me that one. Okay, give me that. I thought about it, and that's who I put in. Mike Dunleavy. Yes, thank you very much.
Okay.
All right.
Pacers Celtics?
Pacers Celtics. Pacers Celtics.
Roy Hibbert ever get around the Celtics?
I don't know. Good pull there, but no, I don't think so. Oh, man. I'm trying to go back to some of those legacy Celtics teams, like the but it's not Garnett, it's not like Joe Johnson. Well, I don't even think no, not there. He played with the Nets. I'm sorry. Like Garnett, Pierce, Ray Allen. Wait a minute. Am I misremembering Ray Allen playing for the Rockets? That didn't happen. That's not a thing. I don't think that's a thing. There's no way.
I don't think that's a thing.
That's not a thing. There's no way.
All right, man. Should we just call it?
Bucks, Seattle, Celtics, Heat for Ray Allen, though. No, is there any off the top? I can't really. Like Porzingis doesn't count, right? He didn't go anywhere else in between.
No. Well, the Wizards.
Well, and the Knicks. But he's there now. Not Al Horford. Kendrick Perkins. Kendrick Perkins, I think, works for the Rockets.
Did Kendrick Perkins play for the Celtics?
Yes. Oh, I know for a fact he played for the Celtics. Okay, yeah. He played for the Celtics forever. Don't rip it because he actually didn't play for the Rockets, but came up with he went from Celtics to the Thunder, the Cavs, the Pelicans, back to the Cavs. Big perk there. I'm getting text of somebody who wants to answer the questions with us.
All right.
Oh, that's a great one. Jeff Green, Rockets, Celtics.
That dude's been everywhere.
Yeah, he's been everywhere. And then he says Jermaine O'Neal, and I'm assuming Jermaine O'Neal. I know he works for the Pacers. I'm assuming he works for the Celtics as well. Jermaine O'Neal. All right, I feel better. I can go on for the rest of my day. All right? Good stuff. All right, let's catch our final break in the morning. Mostly, we got to do the bracket.
Yeah.
Favorite, greatest Guardian of all time. Greatest Guardian Indian of all time. We'll fill that out. Get your tweets in. Ryan and I will talk through it as we fill it out. We'll run through time up. We'll get back to our Guardians boost for the day. We'll continue on Fontana Show right here on Big Play. Stay with us.
Well, how do they know I'm doing this? Did somebody leak this out?
It's social media.
Oh.
It's just, that's the way social media works now.
I thought maybe you were just running that yap.
Welcome to Big Play, a sports media team that started back in 2014, and now we're not in a garage. Look at us, incorporating some of Cleveland's favorite sports personalities, bringing you fun and compelling content from downtown Cleveland. Coming to you live from the shores of Lake Erie and Burke Lakefront Airport, join Team Big Play for all the best sports talk in Ohio. Check us out on social media at Big Play, bringing you fun and compelling content from downtown Cleveland.
Anthony Schlegel, just how physical he was. You saw the girth and the power and everything he was bringing to the table, especially when he was a nice beefy 255 playing middle linebacker.
We were called soft last year. You don't want to be soft, especially when you come to the playoffs. So that's going to be a process throughout this season of establishing us as a harder team here in the
How does an Ohioan build the perfect parlay?
Who's got something? Big guys looking for long odds. The kids in Columbus are covering better than anyone. And at even odds. If it's even, I'm leaving. Listen, our championship DVD starts today. all right? Dude, I just got an invite to a Cincy playoff watch party. Shut up. Cincy, State, Cleveland, the perfect parlay. I'm a genius.
For the best odds on Ohio sports, bet with your cojones.
It is Spanish, dummy.
Bet with Typical Sportsbook.
I don't buy into this nonsense, this conspiracy nonsense that he's got his money and he's dogging it. That's ridiculous.
All right, let's get into it. A little bit of time up. We got to fill the bracket out, too. So if you have any last-minute suggestions for the greatest Guardian of all time, we'll still fill that out at the end of the show. We'll get to our boost as well for the Guardians. Second home game of the year. Let's get to it. But we start with a little bit of time hop. We head back this day in history and tell you what happened, including this day 2021. I get so weird on bringing up the day that somebody passed away. But when it's a day that you're like, it's kind of a big day, it's one that you remember. You remember when
2021.
2021?
Alex Trebek?
No, DMX.
Oh, yeah.
You remember when DMX and everybody's like, wait a minute, like, what? That was sad. So, unfortunately, DMX passed away this day, 2021. This day, 2020, the Browns released a teaser trailer for their new old uniforms. They went back to the ones they have now. Thank God you could be in the crap show that you're in right now with baseball. Sometimes new isn't always better. Okay? The Browns uniforms are just fine. I understand that they have a color palette that some people don't like. I'm not an interior designer, so I really don't give a damn. My team is brown and orange. Make it work. I like the orange alternate tops. I want those back. I'll take the orange pants for now. The white face masks are coming. We all know that. Everybody knows that at this point. They're doing the best that they can. And they got away from those monstrosities.
Ugliest uniforms I've ever seen.
Horrible. And I don't know
how does something like that get greenlit?
How do they sit down and go, this is great? And it wasn't a fluky thing. They sat down with Nike. I know that they had focus groups with the fans. How did not somebody stand up and say, those look like ass? Those are the worst. You are the only ones I thought were worse were Tampa Bay's. Tampa Bay's. Tom Brady had to play in those things, man. Some of them worked. Like, I think the Jets ones of that era kind of work. You know, but like the Browns were bad, the Jets were bad, the Jags ones were trash. Like, oh my! You remember those Jags helmets that they had? They were like two-tone faded. Just, yeah. You just Googled it, the worst jerseys in history, right? What were some of the ones?
Well, this one's from 2010, though.
Oh yeah, we can't do that. But yeah, man, those things were horrible. But it is what it is. This day, 2019, was official that the Q was renamed Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse. We talked about that in yesterday's show a little bit. You follow the UFC a little bit, right? 2 years ago. God, I wish it was 2 years ago. 5 years ago today, TJ Dillashaw was suspended 2 years for EPO. What are you looking at?
I'm looking at this. This is number 8 on the worst. The Pittsburgh Pirates 1999 red vest jerseys.
They have a giant pirate on the front of it. Yeah, those are pretty bad. I remember this one because this day, 2015, the Indians almost got a no-hitter. They combined for 8 1/3 innings of no-hit baseball. Bauer started, went 6 innings, gave it up to Kyle Crockett and Scott Atchison. Nick Hagedorn gave up a solo home run with 1 out in the 9th inning to give up the no-hitter. It is insane that we have been no-hit not only twice in a season, but that we've been no-hit like 6 times since Lenny Barker's perfect game. We haven't even had a no-hitter since then. Yeah. We've been close.
Tanner Bibby's going to throw in this year.
You think so?
Yeah.
All right. We already got one in Major League Baseball this year. But, yeah, man, that's insane. You haven't even luck boxed your way into one, which is kind of crazy, but it is what it is. This day, 2014, a report that Jacksonville signed Alex Mack to a 5-year offer sheet, giving the Browns 5 days to match. They eventually would, and he would leave and then eventually go to Atlanta. He wanted out of here so bad. It was kind of crazy. Do you want to know the most crazy thing about all of that with Alex Mack? Guess who the center was on the all-decade team for the 2010 NFL team? It was Alex Mack. Can you believe that? He was on the all-decade team for the 2010s at center. Joe Thomas was obviously your left tackle. But I think people sleep on how good Alex Mack really was. Just retired a couple years ago, by the way, too. This day, 2000, Jim Thome struck out 5 times against the Tampa Bay Rays. He tied an MLB record, but the Indians still won 17-4. What do they call it? The golden sombrero, right? When you get 3,
is that what it's
4?
called?
Yeah, and then you get 5.
Like an opposite of a turkey?
Yeah, pretty much is where it's at. This day, 1959, NASA introduced their first group of astronauts. There were 7, including John Glenn. That takes some guts. Hey,
yeah, man.
We're going to send you up there. We've only ever sent dogs, but we'll give it a try.
Well,
what?
They didn't go to the moon.
Okay, Ryan is a non-moon landing believer. You know, I saw this, with the eclipse going on and everything. Neil deGrasse Tyson said this. Do you know that our ozone layer filters out 99% of UV lights? Could you imagine if it, granted, Earth and all that kind of stuff, right? Like, going up into space where you're getting those UVs straight on, get fried.
Yeah.
That stuff is so interesting to me. Him and then that Brian Cox guy, he's the English one, the astrophysicist people. So interesting. I am not near smart enough to know anything about it, but I can listen to those guys talk all the time about the nearest star and how it's ever expanding and the Big Bang and the particles and all. It's crazy stuff. It kind of all came to a head yesterday with the eclipse, but definitely cool to see. This day, 1865, Robert E. Lee officially surrenders, ending the American Civil War. Important day this day, 1865. Very happy birthday goes out to Curly Lambeau, the late, great Mr. Seve Ballesteros, one of the best golfers of all time. Indians pitcher Hunter Gaddis celebrating a birthday today. I hope he gets into the game today because we're up 10-0, and they just need somebody to eat some innings today. I probably shouldn't wish Hugh Hefner a happy birthday.
Why?
He's kind of a piece of crap.
Well,
he's dead, but he's kind of a piece of crap. Kirsten Stewart from Twilight celebrating a birthday today. Gerard Way of My Chemical Romance and Dennis Quaid all celebrating birthdays today. All right, just one for you today on the movies and televisions. Ryan, I will tell you one that you best not miss, okay? It premiered this day, 2009, a television show, and that's all I'm going to say to see if you can get it on that. One that I would tell you best not miss.
2009.
2009, a television show.
I mean, how many TV shows came out in 2009?
But I'm saying, when I say that you best not miss, it's because it's one of my favorite television shows. It's also one of the most popular television shows of the last 20 years.
Breaking Bad?
No, good guess, though, of that era. But no.
The Walking Dead?
No. You're getting colder.
Colder?
Yeah.
Is it like a superhero thing?
No.
Sopranos?
No. Getting colder again.
How is it colder?
Colder? Of the type of show that this is.
Was it like a comedy?
Yeah. People often put these two together in a group and they argue which one is better.
Good God, The Office.
No.
Parks and Rec.
Parks and Rec is correct. Parks and Rec, this day 2009.
Never seen.
You gotta see it. I respect The Office. I just like Parks and Rec better.
Community's better than both.
Really? You haven't seen Parks and Rec. How can you say that? I've never seen Community, so I don't know.
Fair.
I don't know.
Fair.
But I've seen a lot of The Office, and I've seen all of Parks and Rec, and I just love Parks and Rec. In fact, it's Tuesday, so it is Parks and Rec Marathon Day on IFC. So when I get home to watch my daughter, that's what I'm going to do. Afternoons, watch Parks and Rec. So enjoy it while you can right there. All right, Ryan, let's get to our bracket because we have to fill this out. We're going to do it live right here on the show. So we do it. Our bracket each and every week. Usually we try to do non-sports, but today we're going to do the best, greatest Indian Guardian of all time.
Okay.
So can you pull the bracket up while you fill it out? Is that a thing? Possibly? No?
Yeah.
Okay, hang on one second. I didn't mean to put that on you. So we need 16. We've got our number 1 seeds filled out and some of our number 2, but I'm just going to run through some of the names that we got and we can throw them in as we see fit. Okay? Sound good?
Sounds good to me.
All right. Let me know when you're ready over here.
I mean, boom.
Working. Done. All right, here we go. All right, number 1 seeds. We'll go with Bob Feller, Jose Ramirez, Larry Doby, and Jim Thome. We got a lot of push to put Albert Bell as a number 1 seed, but do you want to put him as a number 2 seed somewhere?
Yeah, do you want to put him with... Well, like, that's the thing, because people
are we going to put him up against?
Bitch at me about seeding.
Put him with Jose. Because I don't think you can put him up with Thome because it's the same era. And I don't know if you could put him up against Feller.
It's Bell, 2
L's and an E.
Yeah, okay.
2 L's and an E for Albert there. Do you have Ken Lofton in there somewhere?
It's the 2 seed with Mr. Doby.
Okay, so he's in there. I got a lot of Stan Kovaleski.
Is that 2 seed worthy?
Here's potential 2 seeds. Lou Boudreau. I'm not putting Cy Young on this. That went a little historic there. Nap Lajoie was in there. Yeah, I got a couple Stan Kovaleski, so put him in as a 2
can I
seed.
put him with Feller?
No, they're of like
That's
the
what
same
I'm saying,
era.
bro.
Do you want to put Omar there?
All right.
That's a tough one for me, man. Do you have another open 2 seed or no?
No.
All right, you got to put Omar there.
That's what I'm saying. People come at me, but like, there's only so many
Nothing
spots.
you can do. All right, put him there.
Wait, so I'm putting Stan Kovaleski with Jim Thome?
You can do that. Stan, and then I'll say his last name. Yeah, ready?
You're gonna have to spell that.
Stan, last name Cove. I'm trusting people on Twitter. That's probably a bad idea. Let me Coveleski. Good ski there at the end for Stan Kovaleski. Okay. I'm just going to throw names at you now. Put them where you see fit. Corey Kluber, 2-time Cy Young winner. That's fine. I don't know where you're putting him, but that's fine.
Does he spell EY?
Yes, Corey Kluber. Some people want, let's see here. You want to put Bob Lemon in there somewhere? Probably should. People voted on him. Somebody wants CC Sabathia in there. Put CC in. I think he deserves to make it in.
As a 3 seed or a 4 seed?
You can put him as a 3 seed. That's fine. So like one of the spots left, right? Okay. I got 2 votes for Sam McDowell. Sudden Sam McDowell. Throw him in.
Oh wait, we still have another 3 seed open.
Put Sam in there. That's fine.
Is he a 3 seed worthy?
Yeah, because I can't really think of anybody yet. Like we have CC, and I'm trying to think of like the 2000s Indians.
So wait, who was it again?
Sudden Sam McDowell.
Spell that.
Sam and then last name MCDowell. Sudden Sam McDowell.
Okay, so now
we just have 4 seeds, right?
Now we just have 4 seeds.
4 seeds. Okay.
We're missing. I feel like.
I mean, you could do Andrew Miller for like but it was like a short run. Hafner.
Oh.
Put him in. That's fine. I'm fine with
Grady.
It's up to you. Are you really going to put Lonnie Chisenhall on this thing? Because that was going to be your lock. You were going to put him in. Okay,
mine will
fine.
be Grady.
All right, put Grady in then. I'll leave it up to you on Hafner. Then the 90s, do you put Jose Mesa in there? Okay, you got to put Jose Mesa in there. You got to put him in. I feel like we have no starting pitching from the 90s. I don't want Charles Nagy in this. I'm a big Charles Nagy fan. Paul Asa. Oh, my God.
What about Victor Martinez?
No. I mean, you can put him in. You know who we're missing? Manny Ramirez.
Oh,
he's got to go.
shit.
You just put him in somewhere. It doesn't. The seeding is kind of secondary at this. It's more about if they get in. Got to put Manny in.
I don't want people bitching at me. I got to figure this out.
I mean, who cares? They're going to complain about anything. They're going to be mad when we don't put Rocky Colavito in here.
But like, what seed should Manny be?
Technically, I think he should be a 2 seed, right? But who are you going to bump down? Who are your 2 seeds right now?
We bump down Stan.
That's fine. Move Stan down. You can keep him in the same one. So move him down and then put Manny as a 2 seed. Now, who's Manny going up against in the first round, though? Can't put him with Tommy. Can you?
Wait.
I know. You're screwing it all. I'm screwing you all up over here.
So you're saying I can't put Manny with Jim Tomey?
I would not put Manny with Jim Tomey. At the end of the day, if you're already in it, then just do it. Just put him in there. That's fine. Who are you moving over there?
Bob Lemon?
That's fine. Do that. And then put Manny over there. That's fine. Do that.
But then Albert Bell's over there as the 2 seed.
Ooh. Who's in group 4?
Larry Doby, Kenny Lofton, Corey Kluber.
Yeah, see, the problem is we're going to have a 90s person in every single one. Just put him in there with Albert. That's fine. You had 3 power hitters. You're going to have to pick with one of them. I don't know.
I'm telling you, the first tweet I made.
I know, I got it. Directed at me. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine.
And then, okay. Travis Hafner got to be in there.
Yeah, put Hafner in. That's fine.
And then one more.
You
want to do Victor Martinez?
Yeah, but I had so many people try to tell me about, the other. Like Rick tweeted me a list where the entire list is guys that are from the 40s. You know what I mean? Earl Averill and Tris Speaker and stuff like that.
We don't need that.
Okay.
Listen,
is there somebody from the 95 lineup that we're missing? I got to make sure I go through that.
Let me run through what we have for you real quick.
Okay,
Matt.
please. Yes.
Group 1, Bob Feller.
Yep.
Omar Vizquel.
Yep.
Sam McDowell.
Yep.
Grady Sizemore.
Yeah, that's fine.
Group 2, Jim Tomey.
Yep.
Stan Kovaleski.
Yep.
Bob Lemon. CC
Open.
Sabathia.
Oh, CC. Okay, yeah, that's fair. Okay.
Group 3, Jose Ramirez.
Yeah.
Albert Bell.
Yeah.
Manny Ramirez.
Oh, my God, Ryan. We can't put the 3. All right, I'm sorry.
Here's what I'll do. Corey Kluber's dropping down to a 4.
I don't think you can put all 3 of those guys together. Jose, Albert, and Manny. Can you just move one of them?
Hold on, this is what I'm going to do.
All right.
Can Stan Kovaleski drop as a 3 seed?
I don't care. Yeah, that's fine. I don't care.
And you said I can't put Manny with Jim Tomey?
Just do it. That's fine. That's fine. He's either going to have to go with Manny or Albert, so either way. Or Jose. If you put one of those guys with Jose.
Okay, so we need one more 3 seed then. Or I can move.
All right, I pulled up the lineup from 95. We have left out. Oh, my God. We left out Sandy. Sandy and Carlos Baerga. I think you have to put Sandy in there.
Can I put him with Jose and Albert Bell?
Yes, that's fine. At this point, beggars can't be choosers. Direct all your... No, I'm just kidding. Stop that.
Because, listen, the top...
Oh, I know. People are going to get pissed. God, Paul Shuey. I loved Paul Shuey.
Because top 2 for each group.
Paul
Bob Feller and Omar Vizquel.
Yeah.
Jim Tomey and Manny Ramirez.
Jason Grimsley
Jose
going
and
to
Albert
the bat.
Bell and Larry Doby, Kenny Lofton. Somebody's going to have to lose.
That's fine. That's fine. So we have our 16, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Unless, we feel like... Well, no. Grady Sizemore was my put-in.
That's fine. That's your put. I will pass mine because most of the guys I would want in there are in there.
Are we forgetting anybody that we're gonna get canceled for?
I mean, not Bieber. It's still kind of early in his career. I thought about Michael Brantley just because he was here yesterday throwing out the first pitch. Again, for how filthy he was, Andrew Miller was so good. You're right, Victor. Him crying when they traded him.
Yeah, should he go in above CC Sabathia?
I mean, again, of the same era, CC won a Cy Young, though.
So did Cliff Lee.
Yeah. I would... that's tough, man. Because I would almost say CC, but then people... CC's back around the organization, so it's
All right, we got 3 minutes, Matt.
I know, to the end of the show. We still got to get to the boost. Remind people of the boost.
All right, I'm sending this bracket.
Just send it. It's done. Complain about it. Just send it to Padone. Yell at Padone.
Yeah, facts.
Yell at Dave. He's the one that puts the show on the air. So yell at Big Play Dave. Send them angry tweets at Dave. I ain't dealing with it. All right, Ryan, final. Yeah, let's go. Guards, come on now. Let's go. Stephen Kwan might be on this list in a couple of years. Couple of Kwan hits here. A couple of strikeouts from Logan Allen and a nice little win for the Guardians. Boosted up over 400. with our friends at Tipico. Use the code Fontana100 when you sign up for new customers. Deposit and bet $25 on whatever game you want. With that code, at the end of the game, you get $100 in bonus bets to use for whatever you'd like. The booster there, the cash back rewards. So easy to track, so easy to get. It's all with Tipico. Terms and conditions apply. If you have a gambling problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER. And we're betting with Tipico. We love Tipico. I made some nice bets last night in the national championship. I'm feeling really good about our guards boost, man. I think we're getting into a little bit of a...
Baseball's been doing me well.
I think we're getting into a nice little streak here because we're not going to forget about the first inning no-run thing. We'll get back to that eventually. That's treating us well. I think we just got to rotate through and finding guys that are going to get some hits in some games. Just do that. We'll take our pitching props and get it all done. So there it is. Get it done, Guardians, today, which is going to be awesome. Bet with Tipico. Use that code Fontana100 when you get signed up. We got the Cavs. We'll get back into them tomorrow. More coming up tonight on Big Play. We do have the return. Josh Maria Cribbs. Ryan will be a part of that. And, of course, Enter the Jungle. James Rapine and Andrew Fox Miller. All Bengals talk, all discussion. We are inching towards the draft. And through the end of the NBA regular season. Do we not have playoffs next week?
April 12th.
That'd be... Wow.
Or, no, 14th.
14th, I think you're right. That is Sunday. Round the corner. We got to finish this thing out, man. So we got it all for you locked in. We appreciate your support, as always, right here on Big Play. Matt Fontana Show. Check us out. Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. We're all there. It's going to do it for us. We'll talk to you on a Wednesday edition. For Ryan Tyler, I am Matt Fontana, and as always, take it easy.